And welcome back to 999. We're going to try to get this last freaking key to unlock this thing. Okay. We need like a screwdriver thing though. Nope, not what I need. Back, please. Yeah, I could definitely see this being more fun with the stylus there. It's electronic. Oh, I see. We need a piece of paper. That's cool. Where's the ink? Anything here? Why is Ace so freaking on edge? Is it just the time limit, or am I like totally right that he's like suspicious here? Okay, we need to find these immediately. Okay, cool, we need ink. Can we combine those? I wonder if we can. Nope. There we go. That should be easy enough. Come on, let me use the device. I just need to interact with the device, please. Morse code, yeah, here we go. It's like old times. Oh shit. I'm choking. Do you really want to do this to me right now? There we go. There we go. We did it. That was,
A-L-L-I-C-E. Alice. Does this mean?
yeah. Junpei couldn't hold back in one, and then he knew what was the file about. I didn't remember this last time. Oh yeah, this is a hieroglyphic thing that nobody understood. Each page contained strange figures. We looked at the drawings of birds, snakes, insects, horn things, and people kneeling. Many pages filled with strange symbols.
What is this?
It's hieroglyphics, idiot. He didn't
They
speak.
are hieroglyphs.
Ancient Egypt?
That's right.
Can you read?
Of course, I can.
And
What the hell?
flip through even more of the pages. One page, two pages
Whoa,
covers some.
the whole thing.
Have more time. He closed the file. And it fell something. Picked up the bottom.
Oh, a key card.
It's the Saturn Mercury one. However, the dot in the center was male.
Yes.
Okay, I do remember this now.
Something's written on bottom deck library.
So it would seem.
Bottom deck. Oh,
There's something. Remember 7.
someone said something like.
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic.
Forest of Knowledge is library. I'm dumb for not getting that earlier.
Beneath the navel mean the bottom deck, and the Forest of Knowledge is the library? Then could Alice be in a room somewhere beyond the library?
What's wrong? Something on your mind?
Yeah, a lot is actually. Jimmy blinked and he noticed Ace didn't looked at him curiously and concerned right across his face.
Yeah. I just remembered something.
Is that so? What about?
Well, don't laugh, okay?
No reason for Junpei to jump or hide his thoughts. He thought he could begin to explain it. He stopped. It wouldn't make any sense to Ace. Didn't know who else was supposed to be. He told Ace everything that he knew.
The Egyptian priestess and Ice 9. Interesting.
And the woman who wouldn't melt, who was recovered from the Titanic disaster?
Is Alice.
They called her All Ice, which eventually turned into Alice.
Whoa. Not what I want, buddy. We're going to close that. Sorry, I clicked off the
She was
screen.
purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordain.
Adam
Number
Gordon.
7. This ship is where he hid Alice.
And you think that he hid her in a small room beyond the library on the bottom deck?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it is just a theory.
Please don't shoot it down, Ace. Be cool for once, Ace. Ace stared off into the distance slowly, and absent-minded stroked his beard, and for a moment he stopped, slowly turned to Junpei and brought it together.
Have you ever heard of the term CAS?
In the Indian system or something?
It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter.
I had no clue of this.
It is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals.
Yeah, it would be super cool.
If you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expands as it crystallizes.
And kills the
CAS,
cells.
however, works differently. The object to be frozen is super cooled using magnetic fields, and then frozen
That sounds
instantly
wooey.
uniformly, giving ice crystals
Oh, well.
no time to form. It was originally developed for the preservation of food, as an alternative to the normal freezing process.
I'm gonna turn you up a little bit, game. That should be good enough.
Now, however,
There we
are
go.
rumors that it can be used for other things.
I don't know why we got turned down. That must have been when I was
Other
streaming.
things.
Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel.
Okay.
Space travel. Are you serious?
Yes.
Surely you've heard of suspended animation. Cryogenic freezing? It's a fairly common idea.
Those
in
are,
science fiction
common,
books and
that's
films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space.
To make sure they don't decompose. That is when Junpei understand what Ace was suggesting.
Wait a minute there.
Ace looked at him and
Are you saying
raised
that Alice was frozen using that CAS thing?
Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility.
It is really bizarre and weird
The
too.
special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist,
Oh well.
and CAS were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously.
You think she could be alive?
Well, I can't say for sure, of course. I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right? If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature,
That's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about?
you're quite right. It does sound unbelievable.
It is very unbelievable for whatever it's game.
Then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor.
You mean the guy dressed like a captain?
Yes. He was dead when we found him. Clearly, he was murdered. But
Yeah.
if he was murdered, then by whom? It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible. In order to
wouldn't throw
enter
that
the
out there.
captain's quarters, one must first open door 1. That door that requires the Earth key prevented us from accessing door 1. Who was it that opened that door?
Santa and Lotus.
Right. Clearly, the two of them could not have opened door 1, or any other door for that matter. Who else then could have done so?
Hmm. 3, 8, 0, 2. So we need 9. 3, 8, 9. I'm okay. 3, 8, 0 is 2. 3, 8, 9, 0 is 2. So, oh, that gets complicated quickly.
Nobody. After Santa and Lotus used the Earth key, they turned back and met up with me and June.
Okay.
Then we returned to the large hospital room and found Ace, Seven, and Clover. While we'd gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven, and Clover had stayed behind. But it's impossible for those three to open door 1. But what about when June and I took the elevator to door 2? No, still won't work. We were only gone 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters, killed that guy in there, and run back that fast.
Could have been dead longer than we
It would
thought.
be impossible for any of us to be the murderer. That being the case, who could have killed him? Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time? A person like that would know the ship well. They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors.
How do
The
you
number
know
door
there's
would
any of
mean
those?
Nothing to someone. It would be a simple thing for them to enter. the
Why
captain's
couldn't one of
quarters.
us know the secret
You're
stores?
saying the killer was Alice?
This Junpei turns to raise an eyebrow. Ace on his thumb and lips and
Well.
thumb.
This is all only one possible theory.
Yep, it is a theory for sure. It's pretty crazy.
All ice. Alice.
Yep.
Is she really somewhere on the ship?
She better be. Had only one clue. It was in its
This
hand.
card will give me access to the Forest of Knowledge and the big mystery. What could be there beyond the Forest of Knowledge? Anyway, whatever. It's gonna have to wait. I'll come back to this later.
Okay, let's get going. Gripped the card tightly and then shoved it deep in its pocket. Okay, we're out, right? Zero, so it's... So if A is 11, there's 26 letters. 30... 35 is A, B, C, D, E. 15... 0... I can't remember this. I think I'm gonna try to skip over this. Steps to the mechanical quarters there. The hallway stretched for a bit and then it turned to the left.
All right,
there.
let's go.
Around the corner and started off. It ran and ran and ran and ran.
That's the next door.
Door.
Wait,
Straight ahead
a
him.
piece of
Just to get to the hall. Drops to his knees.
map.
I don't care about the map to A deck.
I found a.
I see.
Well, that I should keep this then.
Let's
Hey.
keep moving.
Damn it,
Saw Clover.
Clover!
Huh?
What the?
Nothing.
You better not fucking screw me again.
What do you mean? What the hell?
What?
You've got.
Oh,
Don't you fucking screw
yeah.
me.
I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes.
Wait, what? A note?
It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something.
What the hell? Let me see it.
No, not right.
We wasn't going to get to see it. On the other end of the hall, he could.
Hey, Clover!
He's getting mad. I'll show it
Clover,
to you
sure.
later, alright?
What are you fucking doing to
Come
me,
on, we
Clover? Don't fuck with me. The pig couldn't just protest, or she's gone. Corner, he looked in the left string. A note, a note. Jumpy was curious. There was
The
something
look
else,
of
but
that pocket. It doesn't particularly look like just a note. Jeez. For crying out loud.
as long as she doesn't have the axe. Okay, we have the zero bracelet, I imagine. Junpei did his best to convince himself that made sense later and ran after Clover. Okay. Junpei pushed through the door and found himself in the large
Big
hallway there.
stairs. Huh. So this is where it ends up, just like it says.
Map. He examined reading. After reading the map himself, he met Ace and probably realized the same thing.
Ace, did he head down?
He put his hand on the handrail and leaned down there.
Oh, there he is.
Look, the 4 others are there too.
Ace, Santa, and Lotus were there as well.
Let's join them.
Yep. Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. They reached B deck to say.
Clover!
June's face was excited. Something had happened. It's much
What's
as
up?
We
Found what?
we
What did you?
the ninth door
Come on. Okay. Well,
jerked off.
wait for me.
We should get going as well.
Chef, we finally.
Made it. Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe what they had done, at least, and then there's something said about the
Reached
ninth
the
door.
end.
He felt the heart race there, and mixed pushing fear ran through the veins. He could feel his legs shaking. He has done to maintain the sense of health, skepticism. Couldn't deny the prospects of escaping this once.
Something's bothering me. Only 3 to 5 people can go through the numbered door.
Well, unless there's
7
zero
of us are
bracelet.
on our way to door 9. That means that, best case scenario, there will be 2 of us who have to stay behind. 2 people.
If it's me and Clover, then we can make it. Junpei looked over the clock.
4:30. We've only got 90 minutes left. I've got no time to wonder about it now.
Hey, Junpei! June! What the hell are you two doing?
Santa's voice jolted in the
Let's
verse.
go, Jumpy.
June took down the square and quickly ran as they could. Yeah, Junpei followed. Okay. That's the group. They piled into the elevator and rode immediately down to E-Deck and looked at a familiar one. The metal grates between the 2 elevators. 7 grabbed one of them and began to talk.
I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left, and that took us to the other side of the grate. After that, we headed down another hallway. It took us toward the bow, and eventually to the number 6 that you two found earlier. We opened
Okay.
it and kept going. There was another locked door behind it, like usual, but this time we had to complete 2 different areas before we could unlock it.
Okay.
Through that door, there was another hallway that went the other direction.
So, on your way, you found the elevator.
Okay. This is
That's
fair.
right.
So, in other words, you kinda did a lap, huh? You came from that side to this side.
Yeah,
That settled it. Junpei looked
So,
around.
Where's the number 9 door?
over here. Follow me.
Okay. 7 began to walk down the hallway and through the sand. Junpei and the others broke into a jog in front of
By the
him.
way,
They had been talking for a while, and then Junpei stepped suddenly towards the spoke.
you know, it's because of Santa that we're all here right now.
Happy Santa!
That all 7 of us are going to door 9.
That's good.
You don't get it? Santa, 7, and Lotus. What's their digital route?
9.
That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they'd wanted to.
But they didn't.
That would be dumb.
Yes, because Santa
Oh, yeah.
wouldn't let them.
Aw,
He said,
Santa.
"We can't leave June and the others behind." That's why we went looking for you guys.
And then you got on the
Aw.
elevator and went back to the central staircase.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one to stick up for you.
Thank God, Santa. Junpei felt his eye niche as they considered that.
Don't get me wrong.
Perhaps June sensed Junpei's
I don't
concern.
mean that 7 and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it, and Santa objected to it first.
Aww. Junpei was about to respond when 7 suddenly
We're here.
stopped. In front of them
So-
stood a door.
Is this?
Yeah.
Junpei couldn't see 7's face, but could see
There's
in
no other place for us to go.
Nope. Just look around. There's a big old iron wall at the end of the hallway. The other hallways on the left and right are blocked by metal grates.
Okay.
I see.
Looks at 7 right in front of the door. Then
All
it's
right,
only choice.
let's get moving.
He pulled open the door and walked in. Junpei took a deep breath as he followed. This is the one we saw before. It appeared they had been telling the truth.
No way.
This is the first thing June saw when he entered the room. The numbers 9, like the others, was roughly made out of red paint. The door was decorated, sitting in the back of the wall in the regular. Didn't we see this before? When did we see this before? Because we saw this church thing before.
The 9
Two.
door.
There's 2 of them though, right? It was large double door with powerful stylings. Something about it was magnificent and made in red paint.
We're finally here.
Yeah, but this isn't the only 9 door. Junpei grabbed the handle and shook, but it didn't budge. Then he had something unexpected there. The red was bolted next to the door, displayed
No doubt
vacant.
about it. This is door 9.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, finally! This is the last.
No, it's not. Junpei felt an emotion wash over him. He felt a chill back down his chest, even his blood began to boil in the moments inside.
Look behind you.
Turn around there. That's another 9. Junpei was scared to believe what he
Why
saw.
a door and a 9?
Yep.
There's another one? Hey, what the hell?
Okay, now we're getting back to the movie. Is this what's her face? He came slowly and began to struggle to understand what he saw. One leg shaved, he made his way to the second door. 9, smaller, set parallel in the wall, came through, but in the other corner there. 9, this was no mistaken number. If it had proof needed, the number was bolted in the wall.
There's a
door.
red there too. That means...
Yep.
And of course it won't open.
He grabbed the handle and shook the door, and because he unexpectedly opened, but because he was sure it was
Why?
real.
Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It's interesting conundrum here. Ace spoke
Do you
first.
think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one?
They both could be wrong as far as I know. Lotus was skeptical.
I don't know about that. It seems unlikely.
What makes you say so?
Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles. There are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero's going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck?
Maybe. There
Then
was
you're
a few
saying
things.
there's some sort of hint in this room.
No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before.
Okay, maybe there's a
Find
hint in the
anything
whole
that might
game.
have been a hint, though.
Yeah, both of these are the right door. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden. Seek a way out.
Door number 9. Junpei
So
muttered
if
to
there are
himself.
2 number 9 doors. If we split it up right,
That's not gonna work.
Junpei blinked and looked at Clover. She held her
You've got a
hand.
notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them?
Sure, Clover, do the math here. Slightly confused, she pulled it out and handled it with. Yes.
Look at this.
Clover opened the notebook and the blanket sat on the desk. Everyone gathered and watched what was written down.
You get it? The numbers on the top are all the combinations with digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit.
Okay.
There's only 8 possibilities if we split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people. So...
if 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right?
yeah.
Clover nodded and almost something she's pleaded herself in the math
No
solution.
way.
Does Zero make us any sort of lick of sense here? The room went quiet, and silence came across everyone's thick blanket. No one spoke.
Come to
Wrist
think of it,
fizzing. Despite something else, look, Junpei turned his eyes
what
around
is
the room.
this room?
It's a church, right? Held candles and stuff. Wavering flames made it shown as his companions looked as if they were dancing. What? 2 rows of wooden pews filled the
It
almost
looks
room.
like it's set up for some kind of ceremony.
Like a
What kind?
funeral. Between them, the strip of rich red carpet. Carpet ran straight to the room by ending at the door at this point stern, at the other end of the carpet.
Is that an altar?
It was recess set or a space set in the wall between the 2 doors. Sitting on the right section of the altar there. It's a coffin. Yep.
A coffin? No, it couldn't possibly be.
But that wasn't it. The whole body occupied. It was as far as Junpei had pursued this line of thought. He decided not to think about the coffin again in time. The moment 7 spoke, there was an edge of humor on it.
Okay.
We
I
need
give
a
up.
code there.
I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer. I guess nobody's got the guts to do it.
What are you talking about?
To stay behind. Junpei understood, but he wasn't the only
What,
one.
you guys didn't figure it out yet? Fine, fine. Let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong. She just... screw it. Let me just write it out.
Someone snaps this notebook and started writing. Everybody else clustered around him to spice the look.
If you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination.
Wait, this means...
Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
Okay.
Same thing? Are you saying?
Yeah, I'll stay behind.
God, Seven's
Why are
like
you acting
best boy
so
here.
heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot?
Lotus was speaking first. Its scene itself was a little strange. She reacted differently when
No,
Ace
I'm
were
completely
volunteer.
against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
The rest began to speak at once.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either. I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
Okay.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
A faint. Finally quiet down and Junpei
Well,
looked
there
at
you
Seven.
go, Seven. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's gotta be a better way than this.
Seven made some noise, something between snoring and
Doesn't
cough.
make any sense.
He did his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see a twinkle in water in the corner of his eye. That was when Santa spoke.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet.
Until Junpei hadn't realized Santa was quiet the whole time and discussed the fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable.
Agreeing? You want to leave him here?
Santa shook his head.
I'm against it. I don't want to leave Seven here alone.
Then I don't see how it matters.
I said alone.
You're gonna stay here too?
I said I don't want to leave Seven alone.
I don't want to leave him alone. There's a dull shine in its eyes. It was cold, hard. Junpei felt a shiver in there.
What the hell are you?
What? You don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including Seven. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. No, those are my orders.
What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the...
You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice.
What are you doing here?
3, 2, 1.
Santa was fast and Junpei could barely see him. He didn't move and it was almost like he was dancing. His feet moved lightning fast on his spine. Yeah, I saw this picture too there, so this is what this is from, huh?
See? I told you.
His lips curled in a cruel, mocking manner.
What?
This makes no fucking sense. He shrugged and traveled along Junpei's spine. His chest frozen and he could feel breath going down his lung. None of this made sense. Junpei felt as though his head was beginning to explode. Santa had changed in attitude, saying he had needed 2 more, the gun in his hand, revolver. Santa grabbed Jun from behind and pressed Junpei's shortened brain identity on the revolver.
Why? What the hell is that?
But on the Earth, Santa possibly found a gun. It's on that one path there, huh? Junpei questioned the roar in its mind, and its mouth refused to ask. Seven spoke almost through the sense of Junpei's
Guns
confusion.
from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6.
Yeah,
Should have known he was gonna do this.
Well,
shouldn't have taken
it's
that.
too late now, fat ass.
Damn it.
Mixture of frustration, fury, and frustration twisted in Seven's face, and he glanced at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't as much flinch. The corner of his lips twitched wildly as he smiled. And then the smile faded and he began to move. He walked back and dragging June with them. Along, he backed the rest of the door, walking on next to the red. He put his hand on the scanner and quickly forced June to do the same. So they're at 9.
Now, time for you to start following my orders.
What are you
Ace,
gonna do?
Lotus, congratulations. I've chosen you to come with me. Put your hands in the red.
Okay, 18. It was when Santa meant when he said he needed
Hey,
2 more.
You deaf? I gave you an order.
Why do we care about this fucking door and that you're gonna kill two other people instead of just having 7 die? Santa narrowed his eyes and slipped. They were still frozen, like deer caught in the headlights, overcoming the car.
Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it.
No sooner did the words come out of Santa Mountain and twitch. Oh my fucking god, do you really? This section next exploded on the floor across there. Thin pulp of smoke, snaked out of the hole in the floor. Wait a second. Wait a second. So we have us, Clover, 7. So we just need 2. We have to find Snake. Then could be no doubt the gun was real.
Really shot it? But why? Santa.
Clover's voice spoke in betrayal and
Santa,
display.
I thought you were one of us.
So Snake
We
is
were
in the
friends.
coffin, I think, right?
You knew about the leaf words and the 4-leaf clover.
He's doing this because he knows Seven's alive or Snake's alive.
What the hell is that shit?
You're lying.
Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Want me to put a bullet in your fucking head?
Just leave in. Freckles and spat few Santa's mouth twisted in rage. Clover recoiled her eyes widely when they spoke very loud. He snorted and shook his head viciously and turned and faced Larcy.
Alright, assholes. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets.
If we can just
I don't
find,
have all day.
if we can just find Snake, we'll be in the best timeline. But I don't know if we can. Or yeah.
What's the matter? Your hearing's starting to go? Going senile, maybe?
Lotus and Ace didn't move. Almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale in Santa's arms. Her eyes widened, and her chest heaved quickly, breathed like animals cornered in predator. June's mind was furious. What was going on? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do, nothing needed to debate. Jumpy said, June's first priority, that was it, obvious. During Santa's commands meant that 2 of them were safe at least. She wouldn't be shot and she would leave the ship alive along with Santa and Lotus. It's the only one thing
It's the only way.
It's the only way. Ace turned to Lotus. He turned to Lotus and Ace.
Go.
Huh?
No way.
Jumpy, what are you saying?
I'm saying we need to find
If
Snake!
you stay here, you're going to be
Snake's
stuck, Jumpy.
alive and he would be
And
enough.
so will Clover and 7.
But you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, 7?
Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me, Eva. There's still something I have to take care of.
We gotta find your brother.
No, you can't!
Just do it already! I know what this is
Don't
building up
come
to.
over. Don't worry about me, please!
June almost cried. Then June walked over behind Lotus. He gently placed a hand on the shoulder and pushed them towards the door. I can't take this tension right now. They almost stumbled right themselves towards another step. They turned around and Junpei nodded.
All right.
Ace and Lotus turned around and walked slowly down towards where Santa was After seeing the internal, they began to stop in front of door not. Santa smiled.
Alright, now let's get those hands in the scanner panel. What? You think I'm fucking around here? I don't
Just
give
do
a
it.
shit about this girl.
You do, and
Red
you're just
doesn't
lying.
person, you know? All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. I'm not gonna say it again.
Just do it, please. He shoved the revolver harder against June's head, and Ace slightly defeated placed his hand on the scanner. Lotus was next. She glanced at Santa and slammed her hand into the scanner. The asterisk
Good
blinked.
job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. As soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid, and you know what happens.
Damn it.
Junpei almost heard Lotus grit her teeth. The door opened, the number door is 9 at least, with few welcome there.
Go!
Ace and Lotus walked towards the door and the frisking began. Santa waited until they were all inside and then held himself and June at the threshold. 6, 7, 8.
Later.
Okay. Exactly 9 seconds swung shut and gusts air contained caused the candles and the ultra flicker to die. Please don't tell me we just totally get screwed because we don't know where Snake is. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and 7 were left behind. Clover looked down at her hands and traced her fingers, faint blue crosshair there. 7 shoved his arms in front of the overall sketch and schematic. No one spoke. Silence fell upon the air and observed. Desperately, something, anything, to occupy his mind. Junpei walked towards the large 2 doors. The second door is 9. He stood in front there and looked at the red. The red engaged. He moves to the smaller door. Does it say vacant? Okay. Okay, this one does say vacant. Never mind. The digital route was 7, which means it's not possible for them to open the door. If we only had to touch the surface of it,
June.
and he thought of June and about Akane Katsu, she was safe. That's all that matters to him. If she lived, then she could escape this horrible book. Then that was what Junpei prayed for. Someone came up next. He pulled off his hat and scratched his head inside.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
We gotta
What
fight
do I
Snake.
want to do? What can we do?
7 opened his mouth and would respond. Please tell me that is what an echo near a room. Someone is pounding viciously there. It wasn't mechanical, it was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet.
I think it's right. Clover motioned 7 quietly. She pulled her finger and lips and closed her eyes in concern. Where is that from? 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was
Where's it
coming from. Is it coming from the coffin? Please, I don't know how to open that.
Could it be?
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
This has to be Snake, right?
Right.
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for? For sure.
You're telling me to force it open?
Yeah.
Shut up and try.
7 and Junpei grabbed the coffin and opened it up. They tried to grip it, and then with a little punch they could fit enough strength. Oh, that's not gonna work. We need to use a code.
It won't even budge.
Yep. There's some sort of keypad on the coffin. Perhaps we wouldn't be difficult to determine it. The
Another one.
Yeah,
Do you think we have to put in the right password or?
I think so.
The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it got louder.
Or whatever's inside this thing wants out.
I know that. But how?
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do.
Gonna just try things. They couldn't even tell that many numbers the
Isn't
passcode
there a
needed.
hint somewhere?
Well, let's look for one.
So please tell me we don't come out. Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran and examined the pew. 7 investigated the desk and returned.
There's nothing here.
Not making this easy, are they?
Sound wouldn't stop. Don't tell me I needed to take the other path there. The noise again in the room. Don't tell me I get screwed because we did this path first and not the second.
What's the passcode? What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
I think it's probably the other way, right? Fortunately, that's the wrong answer, Santa. Laboratory just won't give up. What the fuck is happening here? Now it's time. Let our game begin. Fuck you, game. You would like to save the information display. After saving, the game will reset and begin the save file. Okay, so this is gated off by a yellow key. Fuck! Oh, that is a really good hook. Okay. So that's the alternative for the ending we need. So we need to go through the other ending and see if we get a clue for the thing. I'm guessing it's either 9, 0 again, or it's 2 for Snake. Or it's Snakin thing. Those are the possibilities. So next time we'll try to play this route and get what's ever here. But you guys, take care. Hope you have a great day. And man, that was mean. Later.